Receiving the power solely as US dollar bills or any acquisition of money is a trap. Money is not actually powerful, it's designed to appreciate. Assets are powerful. Assets are powerful because they increase our ability to world make. Now let me draw this out. Thesis here, power is in world making, which was the thesis of my last essay. I always say the whole world boils down to labor and land, or the control thereof, because then you can make the world that you want with these very powerful tools. But we also have world making in art and policy. These things convince us of what is true and what we can and cannot do. The power of having people's minds belonging to you, in truth shaping and influence and in attention. Quest of liberation is, how do we manage these things collectively rather than having individual grabs for individual bits of power? Money is worthless is a pretty bold claim from someone who constantly fundraises. But let me tell you what I think is powerful about this universal basic income program. Ebola and Sierra Leone was an epidemic that turned into a mass disabling event because of initial lack of response from the government. Left about 26,000 dead over 2 years and even more disabled for the rest of their lives. Absolutely no governmental support or provision. That should sound eerily familiar to us in the United States dealing with COVID and other places in the Western world. Unlike us in the Western world, the Ebola survivors of Sierra Leone have organized themselves into conglomerates and they fight for their own right to life. Those survivors were given 10 years to live and they reached their 10-year anniversary of surviving Ebola this year, in Kenema at least. We have the opportunity to transfer money into power by building out policy, a universal basic income program, which supports them in their basic needs for the next 3 years. If we are able to organize this, what else is possible for those of us living with long COVID in the United States? What would it look like for disability to be funded collectively rather than from the government, which is supposed to fund disability collectively, but instead they take our tax dollars to kill people in mass? Giving $1, we have the opportunity to help expand what we conceive of as possible. The limiting belief is that governments are the people that make policy. No, we can make policy. There's also something here about the case for a global strike, not just in where we give our tokens of power, but where we withhold them. There's an essay coming. It's percolating in the back of my mind. Anyways, have a good day.